Hi guys, and welcome to Dee's Media World. It occurred to me with all these videos that I've been making lately that, there's this big question I think we have in the black community, or at least for me as a minority, as a black woman, when it comes to television is when does the representation and when does the support stop? When do we say, you know what? I'm not gonna watch this thing just because black people are in it. I'm not going to support this program, this show, this TV, this movie, this book, this whatever, just because there's someone black in it. If I don't care for it, if I don't like it. And this is something I think a lot of minorities probably deal with at some point when we see certain sensationalism. In Empire, I discussed Empire and how, like, in Empire, on one hand, it feels like, you want to support the show because there's black people in it, but on the other hand, there's so much garbage in it that I don't feel obligated to support it. And this is a topic that's interesting to me because I've never fully come up with an answer to the question, how far do I go to support black content if it's garbage? How far do I go? So shows like Empire and Scream Queens, those are two that kind of answered that question for me. And it's the answer is basically right up before coonery, right before stereotypes to the max, right before those things that just make me uncomfortable, annoyed, angry that these are black characters or black actors playing these black characters that are just stereotypes. With Scream Queens, that was it just kind of said to me, that show said to me like, yep, there's a limit. There really is a limit. I will watch almost anything with black people in it at least once, almost. Reality TV is probably where I draw the line, but something like Scream Queens, when only the black character is, the only black character is, the sidekick to the white person, and she's there to say funny lines, and she's there to, or he is there to be the savior, the magical, mystical Negro character, whatever the case may be, that's where I draw the line. That is where the line is drawn. Once that has happened, once you have stepped into that area, that's when I'm done. Dear White People, that was interesting because that whole film was pretty much black people. So you're thinking, well, there shouldn't be any, coonery going on there. There shouldn't be any, like, problems there. With that movie, as I said, each character had some serious self hatred, and the film does nothing to change that. Now, it was already too late for me when I was watching the movie to stop, but I had to do that review. It's still one of my favorite videos I've done on this channel because that's a great example of what needs to stop happening with the black media. We can't just accept anything. We can't just say it's okay to do anything just because there are black people in it, because it's not. White people have that kind of privilege of doing anything and it not reflecting on their whole race, right? There's still, even though it's 2015, there's still a small pool of black actors, of black content. So when we make these new shows, these black shows, I need to see things that they don't all have to be positive, but they have to mean something. They have to be relevant to our lives. What is going to help us as a community? I mean, we live in a time, where, racism is still there, but now it's just been popping up like unapologetically with all these, the shootings and the police brutality and things like that. We need some things that empower us as people. And this, like Empire, Scream Queens, whatever else, are not a part of that equation. They are not empowering us. I mean, I understand dumb entertainment. I understand, sensationalism, and, like, we need to watch. Sometimes I need a break. I watch TV shows like that, but they don't have to be. I don't. They don't have to be stupid. Like, just because I'm not watching a show that isn't about, like, real stuff, it doesn't mean it has to be dumb. It doesn't have to be dumb. Like, why should when someone watches reality TV and they take it seriously and have fun with it, their excuse is always like, well, that's just pointless TV shows. I know it's not real. I don't act like this in real life. Yada yada yada. You're just dumbing yourself down. You're just dumbing yourself down. You can watch semi-intelligent television as a way to relax and have fun. That's how it used to be. Like black sitcoms before the like early 2000s, Living Single, Fresh Prince, Cosby Show, uh, The Jeffersons, which is the 70s, 80s, all those shows have black characters that those shows weren't meant to necessarily like be super deep and you have to super think about them, but they were smart. They were intelligent. They people cared about the characters were people you cared about. They made you laugh. They made you feel like you understood them, you related to them, but at the same time they had some intellect. They had some relatability. They had something to aspire to be. You know, those shows had substance. They had substance, especially the Jeffersons. I'm gonna do a review on the Jeffersons eventually, but basically, Jeffersons. Go back and watch the Jeffersons. That show is a lot deeper than people think. It's hilarious, but it does with real stuff too, in a fun way. And shows just these days are just lazy. That's just what it is. They don't want to. They don't really want to deal with real things and make them enjoyable to watch. They're just like, let's just go with what's easy. Not every black show on television is like that. As I said, you know, I watch Blackish. I do watch a little bit of Rosewood with Morris Chestnut. He's like the main character in there. Um, How to Get Away with Murder. There's a black character or two in those shows. Not enough black characters, but there's minorities in that show. Uh, you know, but those shows, you know, they're fun, but they make you think too. Like, there's there's something that has to be said about, you know, we allowing so much bad television. Why is it that a majority of the black TV shows on television are Love and Hip Hop, uh, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood or something like that, Hollywood something Divas, Hollywood whatever, Atlanta Housewives, whatever, all these reality shows, where why is it that when I see black women all in the same room together on TV, it has to be like drama to the max, right? It can't be unity, it can't be friendship, it has to be drama to the max. I don't even watch reality TV, but I know there's too much of it on television. There's too much, because I see people talk about it all the time, and it's like, where's the living single shows at? Where's the fictional shows? I do watch the show Born Again Virgin. That is a show on TV1. It's on hiatus right now. And, you know, that show's a little more in the right direction. It's cute and silly, but it's so much better than reality TV show because it's fun. It's fun, but it's not completely stupid. At least when I leave a television show, I know a television show is doing something right when I leave thinking about something. Like, you know what? That probably happens in real life. Let me think about that for a minute, or that's fun to think about, or whatever. And I talked about Born Again Version. I didn't really do a review on it because I didn't have a whole lot to say, but it's a cute show and it's a little different, but it gets no attention because it's not stupid. It's not it's not dumbed down. It's not, you know, like people throwing stuff at each other uh, and stuff. It's a real show. It's a sitcom-ish kind of show. It's silly and it's fun, but it's not stupid. So therefore, nobody knows what I'm talking about and what when it comes on. We pay attention to too much stupidity, and that's kind of where I draw the line when it comes to the original question is, you know, how far do you support black content? And it has to be intelligent. Uh, you know, I can no longer do it. I can no longer allow myself to watch something just because it's black. Empire, I can no longer do it. That show has probably the most black characters I've seen in a show in a minute, in a not a reality show, but like a legit scripted, amidst a scripted show in a long time. But I can't watch it anymore. It's too stupid. It's too much. It's too ridiculous. It's too stupid. And it brings nothing to the table. It doesn't help the black community. So I can't support it anymore. Um, I won't be talking about it anymore after this video. And that's really what it comes down to. My original thoughts about this came up again when the movie The Perfect Man came out recently with Sanaa Lathan and Michael E. Lee and Morris Chestnut. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to see it eventually. But I remember thinking when I saw the previews for the film that it looks so predictable. And from what I heard of it, it is pretty predictable. It's the Lover Scorn movie. we've seen 100 times. But as a black person, you feel like I have to see this movie or at least give it some attention because there are black people in it. And movies like that, I feel like they're kind of they're like this to me. They're kind of, I don't really know. They're up in the air. Those are the kind of films that make me question how far do I have to be interested in something just because black people are in it, even if it's generic, even though it is something that has probably been done 100 times. But and that I don't want to see that kind of story again. So, and I think the answer is with as long as it's doing something new, then maybe I can watch it and be interested in it. It's not reality TV, which is a step up. It's not. It doesn't look like it is cliche in the sense of stereotypical. Let me say that again. In terms of the characters, like it looks like they're just black people playing characters, not they're not black people playing ghetto stereotypical sidekick cooning characters. It doesn't look like they're doing that. So maybe that's where the limit is. But that's all I wanted to say, guys, about that. This is a question. I wonder how many other people. I feel like this is something people don't talk about, but it happens all the time. It has to happen all the time, right? Because I think about it all the time when I see black media. As I feel like I have to support because someone's black in it, a minority's in it. Like the attraction sometimes is because there are minorities in it, and if it has something brings something to the table that seems positive, then I still feel I should support it. But that's all I have to say about that, guys. Just if you have any opinions on that, where do you guys stand on, supporting black media or minority media, even if it seems cliche, even if it seems stereotypical? Do you still give it a chance? Do you still say, you know what, there's someone black in it, so I have to represent some way? Um, and if you don't feel that way, why? Where's the limit? Where is the limit? Like with Empire, do you watch Empire? If you're someone who watches Empire or any of those, stereotypical cliche shows, do you watch it because there are black people in it, or do you watch it just because you enjoy it? So that's something to think about. So I think that's all I have to say for tonight, guys. But I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye.